Yo, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. It is 11 a.m. Saturday morning here in Sydney. We got the Pro Box card on the big screen right here, waiting for it to start. Headlined by Nicholas Flaz versus Delonte Tiger Johnson. We got action on this fight. The odds have been going crazy. If you have any questions about the odds, if you have any questions about a last minute parlay, we can put that together for you. Hopefully, you're doing good. The the stream here on Pro Box has already been delayed twice. So when that comes on, if you want, oh, it looks like it's going to come on. Guys, if anybody in the Discord wants to jump on the live, I put the link in the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, that link is pinned. Become a Johnny Says Boxing Insider. It's a couple bucks a month. And you get access to, in my opinion, the best Discord in betting. It's not just boxing. It's NBA, it's MMA, it's football, it's hockey. We're gonna have F1 in there. It's soccer. Shout out to KDR. Shout out to Breaking Bad. Shout out to Boxing Fan. Shout out to my moderator Gil, our other moderator Boxing Fan. It's growing. We're entering our 14th week, and you guys are currently getting a look into our Discord because as the fights go, there really isn't a better source. I gotta be honest with you guys because the big fights generally happen on the weekend. It's Saturday afternoon, which I won't be able to go live this entire card because I have a life, and my girl and I are usually doing stuff on the weekend, and she doesn't like when I'm looking at the screen when we're hanging out, rightfully so. So I stay up to date on the fights by watching the Discord, by the chat. The chat will keep me updated on who's winning, live betting, as you can tell. Shout out to P. Velli. Shout out to Alex, Mike Tyler, PJ the promoter. Boxing, boxing fan, my guy. We got a lot of plans we got a lot of plans in the pipeline, guys. So I'm excited about it. Boxing fans excited about it. Pro Box card starting. We got Chris Algieri, our boy Paulie Malignaggi with the eye patch. Yeah, Paulie's vision still hasn't come back, man. And I gotta say, he doesn't look bad with the eye patch. Paulie Malignaggi rocking the eye patch. I'm gonna as you boys are tapping in, let me know where you guys are coming from. I'm sharing the invite link. I'm gonna share it with Gary. I'm gonna send it to Tommy Raynone. See if he wants to come on. I could get about 5 of the boys on. So if anybody wants to come on and watch the fights together, we can. Uh, I've never done this. We've never used the Discord to stream and actually bring boys on to watch. Rene Alvarado, last second fight. Ramblers, anyone taking Benavidez? Uh, Ramblers, anyone taking Benitez? So I'll pull up the odds in a second, guys. The odds have been going insane on Nico and Tiger. Obviously, I got Tiger, but I got a hedge bet on Bet365. The odds flipped, and I got Nico at plus 225. Then he dropped to 155, and now it's even again. It's insane. So, um, I would if your bets aren't in, I would take a look at the bets, the betting apps here in Australia. We got Sportsbet and Bet365, and the odds aren't the same. So I want to answer. Oh, the Pro Box stream is slipping. So Benitez, did that fight? Is that fight still on? Because I know there was a couple fights scratched. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even see that fight on my books right now. Only GK. The reason why so many people are betting Flaz is because they don't like Tiger style, just like Floyd style. They said every. Yeah, it's weird though, GK, to see it going like this. You know what I'm saying? Adu, we chased baby. Adu, baby, we got to. Today is a new day. We got cooked last night. I guess right after I cut the stream last night, literally right after I cut the stream, Old mate got knocked out one punch. And I was like, thank God I didn't see that shit. What's good, DJ Green? EV just left the casino with my flips. Nice. EV, are you in Texas? Where are you coming? Are you on the East Coast? Why'd they take the fight off the books? The Benitez fight? Are you guys seeing the Benitez fight on the books? Maybe it's. I got a DGen question for the boys. Did anybody get. Did anybody take action on Carabaja versus Sawa? Little DGen action? Hope we have a different Tiger. So you guys are up to date on the Discord, and the Discord just runs live, man. We've created a machine with the Discord because, we have moderators in there, but it doesn't need anybody to run. The Discord, the boys, the chat runs itself. I did not, if I would have known that this is what Discord was, I would have started it a long time ago. Where's my guy at? Mike TV, we got to get one today, baby. No, I didn't rage quit. No, I was tired, Mike. He said, did I rage quit? No, you're not going to. Come on, brother. You ain't going to see that. I don't have that side in me. What had happened was I have sparring every morning, every Saturday morning, to where I get up at like 5:30 a.m. And so I generally go to bed every day around 8:30, 9 p.m. And so last night I was streaming the fights in Melbourne, and by 9:30 I was so exhausted. I had been up since 5 a.m. So I just said, guys, I got to go to bed. I'm tired. And literally as soon as I ended the stream to go to bed, my Instagram alerted me that one of the boys in the stream were like, Johnny, dude, as soon as you ended the stream, Fatih got knocked out. So I turned the fight back on, and sure enough, so I didn't rage quit. You're fire, Boxing Wiz. You a beast, Boxing Wiz. Where's the money at, boys? I'm on Tiger, but I heard some of the boys are taking Renee. Anybody taking Renee on that cheeky 5-1? Tramos, T. Ramos, welcome, brother, from Canada. We appreciate you. Welcome. I'm gonna give you boys the Discord again, guys. To join this Discord, click the link in the bio. Don't be shocked. We all get cooked in this Discord, so don't be shocked because I picked Jazzy last night and I picked Fatih. I might be getting cooked, so it's all good. We used to it. We can't win them all. So EV living, somebody rocking, knocking the boots, but drive to LA, Louisiana. Are there casinos in Texas? If you don't mind, I'll do you just fine. I can be your part-time lover. Say you will. That's H-Town. Evie knows what I'm talking about, but most folks probably don't know nothing about H-Town. Rambler, who won? Which fight? Lloyd Hernandez in the house. We appreciate you. Guys, the Pro Box card it's on. We're watching it, but they're interviewing Valet. And you got Paulie on screen, you got Algieri, and you got is that Mike? He used to be the analyst for the UFC for a little bit. He's an OG in the game. And they're playing like there's a fight going on behind the boys, but they're not announcing it. Daniel Vega. Safe bet is Flaz versus Tiger go the distance. Yeah, man. Guys, do me a favor right now. Go to your books. Check your books right now. And look what the chat's saying. So B Money in the chat says it's still on Bet365. Flaz is now the favorite at mine 30. 130 Tigers plus 100. So Daniel, go to your books right now. If you're in Australia, guys, we got Bet365 and Sportsbet with two separate. Flaz an hour ago was an underdog. At the same time, he was a favorite on two separate apps. So I got a sneaky hedge going. Obviously, I'm with Tiger, but I put 100 on Nico when he was at $2.20. So because he just dropped again to 170, it's saying that I could cash out and plus money. So I'm still learning. I guess the chat educated me. He said this is what big time bettors do. They wait for the market to swing and then they bet on that curve or that bump. Got the Buccaneers to beat the Pats. No worries, Drunken Boxing. Are they we got an NFL channel. Let me give Drunken Boxing some love real quick. So drunken boxing. Simultaneously in our boxing Discord, we have a football Discord, right? This shit is so crazy. This shit is so crazy. So you're getting free money right here. So, you're in the Johnny Says Boxing Discord, but at the same time, the boys had they asked for the football Discord. You got the football Discord. Let me go through it for you real quick. So from the top, this is the part of the Discord where you get my picks. I give you all my picks. This is where the boys share all of their betting slips, their wins. This is the MMA. These MMA, and each boy, we realize, like, in Gil, my moderator, Gil's an animal in the NHL thread, and then KDR is an animal in soccer. Breaking Bad's been eating in NBA, MMA. So yeah, this is the basketball one's been popping. I guarantee we'll see Breaking Bad in this joint. Oh, there we go. there we go. So as you see, my point is, I didn't realize getting into adding the Discord that we'd have this community. This is my favorite thing about. I used to think that YouTube was just me making a video and uploading a video and seeing how many views it got and seeing how many subscribers I could get. But before, I had no idea that this is what it would evolve into. This is our American football channel. This is Gil. I'm gonna call this Gil's hockey channel, or JP's in there. Yeah, Gil. He's our moderator. Dude's an animal. When I get enough courage, I'm gonna start taking some action on this hockey because I see boys eating in there all the time. Soccer. I bet you KDR's in there. There you go. KDR got the soccer channel on lockdown. This is another channel, man. I gotta get some. I gotta get some soccer action. And here we go. This is the bread and butter. This is our boxing. This is my bread and butter. So Big Steve says back to pick 'em. So the odds are shifting, guys. Flaz and Tiger back to pick 'em. Flaz came up with an excuse. He probably back. What? Maybe it'll come back. Did they delete the Pro Box app? The card is on. Stupid. Oh. TJ, PJ, why are you trying to call people stupid, mate? Oh, this card is dumb, stupid. I feel you, player. Virgil don't want to fight Boots. He's scared. So, what did you think? Did you guys watch the weigh-ins? I watched him. I'll bring him up in a second. I'm waiting for Pro Box to drop their first fight. PJ Tiger is minus 72. How's he plus 100? These guys, all I'm gonna say is somebody's making a lot of money because here's what I mean. So when I saw these odds shifting, I put 100 in. Tiger's my bet, just so you guys know. Tiger's my. I'm rolling with Tiger, but I got Tiger at 225 when the odds flipped yesterday as the dog. Okay. After sparring today, I was looking at the app, and they flip flopped. So Bet365 was showing Nick Flaz at 225. So I put 100 on Nick Flaz, and it's offering me to cash out in plus money because Nick is now on Bet365. Nick is now 176. So when I posted that into the Discord, they were like, this is because I'm still learning the betting and that, like the betting strategy. I'm a boxing head, dude. I'm not like, I don't want you guys to think I'm a betting savant. Boxing's been my first love since I was a boy. So I'm learning like strategies and the analytics and the styles of betting. And so when I posted that in the Discord, I think it was lit the casual, LIT. He said this is what big heavy hitter bettors, this is what they wait for. They bet that swing. They bet the punt, they bet that edge. Because now if I would have put 10,000 on Nick when I put the 100 on Nick, my betting app, even now Nick is a favorite, my betting app still lets me cash out if I wanted to. Right now the cash out is only giving me like, $8 plus on the cash out, but that's without even the fight. So if that was like A $10,000 bet, that would be like almost $1,000 cash out without even the fight happening. So you would make $1,000 just by putting the bet on. The odds swing. So that's interesting. That's there seems like there's some fuckery going on from Virgil and Lubin. Let me bring it up. We'll watch it. I'll bring it up because these fights still haven't started, boys. I'll see what the Discord's saying while you. Damn, Algieri went gray on me overnight, man. Chris still looks good, but I haven't seen Chris in a while. He looks like that silver wolf. He can pull it off though. All right, guys, I'm gonna play the weigh-ins what we can without getting tagged here. Eric's always in shape. You can tell who does strength and conditioning. You can tell who does more like powerlifting and strength work just by their physiques. You can tell Virgil's the more cardio based athlete. And this is still kind of an old school mentality that, depending on your coaching staff, it's wild when I meet boxers who don't do strength training. You can tell Virgil does just all cardio stuff, which is fine. You can tell Eric does strength training. You just by their physiques. Something that I never understood, and you can take this however you want. You want to take this, and maybe this is just me, the strength coach in me. But when I see pro fighters, and I see them like the way I look at what I do for a career. I work for myself. I run a couple businesses. I'm required to be professional 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Do I have slip ups? Yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to say I don't drink. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't drink alcohol because I hate alcohol. Dude, if my boys are in town and we go out, I'm going to drink. But, I don't live my life in absolutes. I choose not to drink for the most part because I have to be switched on. My point is, at 43 years old, I have a six pack because I live the life. I don't count my calories. I don't take supplements. I've never meal prepped. I choose to cook my own meals. I eat real food. I don't eat shit. I train. I keep my mind right. I keep my body right. I pretty much drink water and a little bit of coffee in the morning. And so when I see fighters who even at their weight classes, they're only at these guys are only 154 pounds. Virgil's my height. Virgil should be shredded. It's shocking that he doesn't have an eight pack to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 5'11", I weigh about 180 pounds, and I have a six pack, and I'm a 43-year-old man. I'm an old head. So my point is, it's wild to me sometimes when you see boxing's really dogmatic, not just on sort of fan bases, but also training styles, nutritional regimes, strength coaching. Like you would think in this day and age of sports science that all fighters would be doing some sort of strength and conditioning, some sort of anaerobic and aerobic training, some sort of speed sprint, cardio based. A lot of guys still just do cardio based sort of training, and it works. I mean, how could you say that to an undefeated? How dare somebody to go up to Virgil and say you should? Hey boy, you should do some barbell training, boy. Shit, I tell you what. I mean, this kid is a goddamn knockout artist, savage, undefeated. So I got into this exact argument with my boy Pavlik because Pavlik right there, Kelly, was one of the, of his era. He was 40 and 234 knockout. He never did weights, never did strength training because his coach, Jack Lowe, they didn't believe in it. Jack is an old head. And a lot of old head boxing coaches, they think that strength training slows you down because you got to understand it's over the last 25 years it's just evolved. It was never you could never go to school for kinesiology in the 1980s. You couldn't go to school and major in sports science, and then even in the 90s. So there is this sort of wall that gets put up, and when I'm watching weigh-ins, I could always tell. Does that mean I'm taking Eric over Virgil because I feel Virgil doesn't do enough strength training? No, it's gonna be a good fight though. No distance, Julius. No distance on Verge. Louisiana in the house. Louisiana in the house. They ain't ready for that. That dirty. What Mexicans have did you watch Jose Resendez fight, boy? Did you watch my man who pieced up Caleb Plant out this motherfucker? Resendez out here was bodied up, boy. He pieced Caleb up. Shit, what? Have you not seen Oscar Duarte, boy? I don't think it's an ethnicity thing, guys. This is a coaching thing. This is a camp to camp sort of thing. And I think it's a generational thing. Virgil Ortiz Jr. He had people around him his whole life. A lot of these things are passed down from generation to generation. It's not an ethnicity thing. There's no way. But I got to tell you what. I mean, when you watch the Aussie cards, I'm speaking to it because I live down here and I'm a strength coach down here. And strength and conditioning is huge in Australia. There's certifications in order to be, it's not just a personal trainer. In order to be a strength and conditioning coach, you have to be certified by the ASIC. It's science. It's the only measurable sport. Strength and conditioning is the only way of training that's backed by science because it's the only way of training that's measurable. What is science? Anything that can be measured. Doing a bicep curl, you can't measure progress. You can't program that. Do 3 sets of 10. It's called hypertrophy training. So bodybuilders will do a lot of reps on accessory lifts. They won't do dynamic functional power lifts like a squat, deadlift, or a press. They'll do accessory isolated lifts, a lot of reps. That's called hypertrophy training. I'm talking about functional strength training. Now, you watch the Aussie fighters just last night. They're all diced up because these guys, it's a science down here. They got nutritionists. They're measuring everything. And I'm just letting you know the difference between it. I don't think it's not an ethnic thing. I think it might just be a regional thing. Oh my God, Usyk in the house. Who you got, Bilal or Garrett? Ooh, God. What's up, Usyk? Appreciate the super chat. Great question as well. Uh, like the new photo, big dog. Who you got, Johnny? Bilal. I know Bilal Muhammad personally. I've known Bilal for like 10 years. I never cheer against Bilal, man. Bilal Muhammad is my guy. I'm a big fan. I've been supporting Bilal his second fight in the UFC, mate. I love Bilal's style. I love Chicago kid, Midwest kid, grimy as hell. I've known Bilal when Lewis Taylor was still fighting. Bilal's head coach, best friend Lewis Taylor. Lewis put the guns down Taylor. His nickname was Lewis Handguns Taylor, and then he changed it to Put the Guns Down Taylor. Lewis fought in one of the first $1 million tournaments in the PFL, and he fought against I think Abus Nurmagomedov, and Lewis was like a 7-1 dog and knocked him out in the second to get that sweet Millie Mill. And and Lewis did that before Bilal had broken through, and then watching how like they stayed together the entire time. The MMA scene in Chicago, at the time, even 10 years ago, really wasn't one. You had Ricardo Lamas out of Chicago. You had some guys out of Chicago, but the Shy really wasn't known for a lot of MMA. And Bilal's one of those dudes who was grinding his, always in shape, strong as an ox. Took his nutrition serious. Great wrestler, great grappler. Bilal Muhammad is one of those guys that when you pull his name out, either in a street fight or a sparring session, you're in for a long day, man. He's a consummate professional, and from an athletic standpoint, Ian Gary, he poses a lot of issues, and he's great in his own right. He does a lot of good things as well. Fighter to fighter, it's going to be a close fight. I never cheer against my boy Bilal Muhammad. What's your thoughts on Coach K? You boys were asking me about this the last few weeks, and I'm going to answer it the same way. It wasn't Mike who asked me this. Last week somebody else asked me, and I wasn't sure the specificity on the exact question, because when I'm asking about coaches, you're probably referring to his methodology, and if you are referring to his methodology, what are you specifying there? What's up with these? No, the fights haven't started. Valley and Alvarado. It was supposed to already start though, Julius. Let's pull those odds up. I'm gonna pull the odds up on Renee. I was at the park one day. That's when I saw her face. She looked kinda catty. That's when I'll take her home and tap that ass. I'm gone. I'm just a dog. Don't blame me. Do you love them hoes? Hell no. Why is that? Because you Snoop Doggy Dog. And you never gave about a bitch cuz to you. Bitches ain't shit but hoes. Ha ha ha. Diddy da dee da. Listen to the sounds. Doggy dog. So this is the fight. It's on, dude. They took it off my books. Are you guys still getting Alvarado versus Valley? This is a late replacement fight. Rene Alvarado's a legit pro. He has over like 35, maybe 40 pro fights. He's a tough Nicaraguan fighter. I think he's only been stopped twice, and I'm not getting odds anymore. He was like a 5-1, and I'm like, this dude, great output, great volume, puts on a pace. Valet is a young, really hot prospect, but I think he has what 10 fights. So if I had an option to take this bet, Julius, why not sprinkle something on the vet, dude? Especially with what we've seen in pro boxing over the last 6 months with legit ass veterans, 30 plus pro fights, getting paired up against these prospects with under 10 pro fights, and the vet being a big ass underdog and winning. This is a narrative I'm not going to let go of. So when we're talking about betting on the dog, Rene Alvarado, in my opinion, is definitely a live dog here. Frankie Rodriguez, Jazza Dickens. The list is pretty. Another one we just saw recently. Was disappointed with Bilal's last fight against Shaq. He fought proud though. I mean, he fought him. Dumb. Yeah, that was an ego. Willy Wonka. He should have wrestled more, right? Should have boxing. He yeah he wanted to box. Wanted to box him. I don't like Coach K. He started with fighters like Keyshawn. One of the big guys, even scoring overtime, they've all left him. He did work with Senior. So what don't there has to be something there then, Mike. You know what I mean? Because when you're handling world class talent like this, well, do you think it's because he has more of an amateur approach to the strategy? I'd have to look into this. You're not the first person to ask me this, so this is obviously a question that's being tossed around in the zeitgeist of boxing. Bilal shot 9 takedowns. JDM shut it down. Okay, so you don't think JDM's really good though, guys? Della Maddalena, as we know about his toughness and his boxing, strong hips. Even his first or second fight when he got paired up against, they were challenging him in his first few fights. I forgot who it was. I know he stopped Rude Boy early. I'd have to look. There was a wrestler they put him with, and JDM showed then that his anti wrestling, I guess, sprawling takedown defense was on point, and not a lot of guys could do it in the middle of the octagon too. JDM is nasty, heavy fisted, could crack. Islam is levels above Bilal. I got Islam. They're two different fighters, though, man. I've seen Islam get knocked out before, though. Playboy. Islam's never fought. He doesn't have championship experience at 170. I saw him get knocked out at 155. That's as quiet as it's kept. I like Jack in that fight. Yeah, I like Jack in that fight. I guess we're gonna start this. Yeah, Martins in his first fight. In his first fight, that Martins knockout. I believe at an elite level he's not good enough. I believe he's only going for transitioning fight from amateur to pro, but that's his ceiling. Coaching Lubin Roque is not good. Ah, ah. You know what though? Sometimes Lubin had a good amateur career, Mike, and sometimes guys, maybe it's one of these things that Lubin lost track of sort of what got him to the show, like some sort of structure. It could be a structured thing. It could be a familiarity thing with Lubin. Maybe he wanted, to reconnect with a guy who he was familiar with when he was younger on the come up. This is his, this at 30 years old, you're not going to get too many opportunities like this if you're Eric, especially, the results against Charlo and the results against Seb. And this is Lubin's first camp with Coach K, and just going off of last experience with other fighters on the level, they've all lost. It's a good point. What a fight, though. It's a valid point. What were we looking up, man? I was trying to find. Damn, man, I'm not getting those odds on. Oh yeah, the old mate, Rene Alvarado. Look at my man out here, boy. Y'all ain't ready for Rene Alvarado. Out here looking suspect. 36 and 60. Man, what you doing in these neighborhood? How'd you get here? I'll walk. Well, man, what are you walking through here? I told you couldn't walk through here. You look suspect. 36 and 16, 22 knockouts. Only been stopped twice. Nicaragua. That boy tough. He's seen some shit. Look at that man has seen some shit. Something you might not never know nothing about. You see that now, Netta? No one say that now, Netta, like you say now, Netta. Those eyes will tell you that. Here's my issue. He's a 5-1 dog. Why not sprinkle the dog? 345 pro rounds, only been stopped twice. Looks like he might be 81 years old. They said he's 36. Mate, man, why not sprinkle on Alvarado? 11 and 0. See, all right, I gotta go on a little bit of a rant real quick. 47 pro rounds. Hold on, I'm about to go on a little suspect rant. I mean, I'm not gonna sue you if you don't know many names jumping off that resume for Valley. I really think that it's kind of a problem in modern boxing, guys. I think it's a promotional issue. I think it's a coaching issue. I think it's a greed issue by the camps, them sort of rushing fighters in this way. Back in the day, for a guy like a step up fight for a guy, this is back in the day, you would have your potential prospect. You'd see how he would go against southpaws. You would see how he would go against orthodox fighters. You'd see how he would go against a big puncher. You would see how he would go against a counter boxer. You'd see how he would go against a slugger. You'd see how he would go against a guy who weaponizes their cardio. You'd see how he'd go a guy with a good jab. All these sort of things. And then you bring him along, and by the time he's ready for the world level, you're like, all right, think about old mate. Think about El Camarón. Think about when El Camarón fought Shakur. Shakur Camarón was like what, 34, don't maybe 31, 32, and he was ready for Shakur. He got beat because Shakur's that dude, but that's he had seen every style, and they're like, all right, let's William Zepeda. Um, we've seen in the last year though, this isn't the case, man. You give Galal you 5, Frankie Rod. Galal had 6 pro fights. You give Albert Badargaziev, Jazza Dickens. Badargaziev had what? 7 pro fights. Sufia Umaha in France. He had what, a handful of pro fight, and all these guys are massive favorites. You got to carry a guy a specific way. You got to guide them. That's why when I talk about on the live, I like how I like how they're, moving this guy along. That's what I mean. It's something that has kind of become a lost sort of art in the promotional side of boxing and fighters' careers. I'm gonna catch up now, boys. The fights are gonna start. I- I'll shut up. Jack Cat looked horrible. You think? I mean, we want money, Julius. He crazy. I didn't. Y'all cats are hard on Jack, boy. I didn't think he looked terrible, man. Y'all cats are hard on Jack. I kind of like his sort of southpaw, lazy sort of. I don't know, man. Y'all cats are hard on Jack. That's all I'm saying, man. Go easy on Jack Cat. Why? Who do you have in the co-main today? The Astrolabia fight. That Astrolabia fight versus isn't he fighting the Japanese Lomachenko? It's a good fight. You got a prediction yet for Pitbull and Roach? Wonka. You guys asked me this 2 weeks ago, and I was super blasé about it. I had given some sort of not uneducated but impulsive prediction, and I just said Lamont off jump, and then I realized like Lamont is, we recency bias, right? What have you done for me lately? Lamont, his performance against Tank, but before Tank, didn't didn't Jamal Herring handle? I mean, Jamal Herring at one time was a legit world champ, but Roach stroke. I don't know. Let me do more work. I think I might have been sleeping on Pitbull a bit. I gotta sit with that fight together. I gotta give both Izak and Lamont their just due and break the tape down, and then I'll come back to you. Julius, I don't like watching Catterall, but you been a horrible fighter. Yeah, cats be hard on Catterall. It's all good, man. When you're fighting an elite fighter like Verge, you're going up against. That's what I'm talking about. A world class coach, spares me fights. Yeah, no. You're right. When you go Bam Rodriguez, that dude, a camp matters, man. We got Boca Negra versus Carrillo right now. It's a 4 rounder. Anybody got any D-Gen action for the boys? All right, we're gonna get the live chat popping. Is that Carrillo? Chantilly lace. Carrillo. I bet T decision. I knew the RoboCop head was gonna jump in headbutts. Where we at? I thought Jack was actually doing more than usual. Yeah, no, I didn't mind that fight. I gotta be honest with you. I like the move to Philly. I like Jack going to Bozy. Esuman outputs puts question. True. You know what, Julius, and what I can say on that is that hats off to Jack for knowing he needed to make a change, though. You feel me? At least he didn't stay. I'm, I want to see what he does. I want to see what he looks like with a. It's only going to be one camp. Usually, it's kind of like you need a couple camps with a change to see the effects. But people sleep on Bosie's strategy. I think because his son Jerron is so talented that it could sometimes easily be overlooked. The actual behind the scenes benefit of having a guy like Bosie, a former pro, a guy with a real boxing mind. Um, when you're a guy as talented as Jerron, a lot of that stuff sometimes gets forgotten about. Josh Taylor levels above before his legs went. I think Jack wins. Yeah, man. Josh Taylor. Jesus. Esuman. Echo Esuman. All right, guys. This is Boca Negra versus Carrillo. There's two of them fighting. Yeah, that Coca's That Coca Blanco rush, rush to the yayo. Killer, killer. Bus, bus, give me yayo. What you know about that Purple Haze? Probably one of my favorite early 2000s rap albums. So this is a four rounder. I know some of the boys got some action on this. You guys are trying to act like you don't, acting like we're all saints and men of goodwill. Any Aussies up in here? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Alan. You know damn well, Alan, some of these boys, either in the Discord or on the chat, have action on Boca Negra versus Carrillo, and they ain't gonna say nothing until like it hits, and then the ticket gets shared, and cats be keeping that on the hush. But a guy like me, I'll get cooked. I kind of like getting cooked though. I gotta be honest with you. Maybe I'm a bit of a sadist. I like watching all the hate come out of the woodwork. I'm like, damn, bro, you hate. I didn't even know. I didn't even know you were on my channel. I'm trying to find the action real quick. All right, so right now, Bet365, if you guys are in Australia, or I'm not sure if Bet365 is a global app, Renee is a 4-to-1 dog, and Valley is $1.15. Not a lot of value. Astrolabio is a 3-to-1 dog. That's a close fight. Akatsugi, the Japanese Lomachenko versus Astrolabio, Filipino kid. Good fight. I bet on Carrillo on one championship later on this one though. They got what app are you getting one championship action? I'm all jealous. I'm like, damn man, I wish I bet on one championship. I wish I had a bet on that fight. I didn't even know about that fight. I like these 4-rounder early joints because usually they end in like first or second round knockouts, and we just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Dude, I gotta tell you what though, my man is aggressive. Yo, Boca, you know how some guys just have that uncanny ability to punch down? Punching down, you don't see, you know, when guys do it, it looks a lot easier than it really is. Who is a good, we were, who's like a traditional, really good like fighter who is always punching down like that? Like, we were just watching him. I think Paul Williams. You ever watch Paul Williams versus Winky Wright? You guys want to watch a fight with some skill, two sides of the spectrum? Watch Paul Williams versus Winky. Two guys that people don't talk about enough, man. Two incredibly talented champions, man. Winky, high guard here. Paul, long ass southpaw, dude. His mobility. Paul Williams would catch you like here, loop around, and then catch you with an uppercut there, and then loop around and catch you with that one, and then here, and then body rip here, and God damn, dude. Paul Williams was out there painting pictures, dude. The Punisher. Damn, he's fun to watch. Nah, it's my partner, Playboy. We in Australia. Rambler says, Johnny, don't say your girl, say your partner. You're not 12. Nah, homie, where I come from, if I was gay, I'd say my partner. I ain't, no offense to my gay boys, but I like vagina, dog. The other shit bores me like a monologue, like the Beatles. When I was bigger than Jesus, I'm a genius. Bill Clinton with my species. Look you in the eye and lie. Believe it. I mean it. Girl, I'm leaving. I don't really know where I'm gonna go, but I got a backpack full of demos. I'm a player, baby. I should run for mayor, maybe. The way I'm politicking lately. The way I'm politicking ladies. Rambler, my girl got a girlfriend. If I was a gay, I would say partner. Hamza, yeah, due to height. This kid right here, though, this shit right here, Boca Negra, he has, they both have that young energy, though. You know, the 18 to 22. I don't know how old they are, but they're fighting 4-rounders, so I'm going to assume Boca Negra's young. It kind of looks spastic a bit. trying to, having something to prove. Winky was a beast. People forget about Winky. Watch his film. There's so many. Vernon Forrest, people don't talk about enough. Watch Vernon Forrest tape. Jesus. Vernon Forrest is another man. People, they're just. I think the guys in that era, right before social media, because they didn't. A lot of their fights weren't going viral. It just wasn't a thing. Vernon Forrest was a motherfucker, dude. Katsuma versus Vincent going. Katsuma by decision. Um, I'd have to check that. Is that Katsuma by decision? We're talking about MMA, right? You seen Berlanga calling Shiraz out for a rematch? Nah. I gave Ed. I went all in on Ed once, boys. You know that. I'm not going in. I'm not going in. I'm not going in all in on Ed again. I can't do it. That was an emotional bet on my end. That was because I got beef with Turkey. you know, you hold grudges when you got beef with a billionaire political advisor from another country that don't even know you exist. And because of your beef with that man who don't even know you exist, you take the fighter and you lose money on the fighter based out of spite. That's how I look at that. So Jackson McVee, I'm pulling up that fight real quick. Ricky Simone, Hunter Mill. There's some good. You weren't talking about UFC. There's some good fights tomorrow in the UFC though. My underdog of the week is CLD versus Marco Tulio. Uh, Second round, Carrillo looks hurt. It looks like Bocanegra is going to get him out of there. He's fighting. Oh, Carrillo, dog, fighting back. Bocanegra looks stunned, dude. Nice. A 3D boxing set. What did he say? I just talked a lot of shit, Alan. I don't know what. I don't know. You're gonna have to be more specific. Was he battle rapping too? I didn't know 3D battle rapped. I like Ricky Simone tomorrow in the UFC. I like Christian Leroy Duncan tomorrow in the UFC. Yeah, man, I really want to take Jamal Emmers versus Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil's a dog. Jamal Emmers is gonna have like a 7-inch reach advantage. And when Jamal's cooking, man, Jamal's what their UFC is filled with so many of these guys that never were really able to put on like winning streaks together, but maybe not full well-rounded, but when they're matched up against the proper matchup, they cook. I've seen Jamal Emmers look like a potential champion before. You know, that fight's worth looking into. Emmers versus Hyder. Hyder, I'm pretty sure comes from that Nick Diaz camp. Dude, PJ, this ain't muscles, bro. This is PJ the promoter, player. Come on, PJ. I told you stop playing with me, PJ. Clifton Dennis, no sir. Right now we got Boca Negra versus Carrillo. It's the first fight of the night of that Pro Box card. This is fight 1 of 6, and it's round 3 of 4. So at Kitsigi, anyone taking Astrolabio? Katsuma versus Vincent. Katsuma decision. Good fight. What am I? What card is this on, mate? What am I missing here? Why am I not? Why isn't this registering this fight you're saying? Oh, you're saying Vincent. Okay, Astrolabia. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Akitsugi versus Astrolabia. You're just using the first names. Yeah, it is a great fight. Those so Akitsugi that's the kid they call the Japanese Lomachenko. And Astrolabio is a kid from the Philippines who can scrap. So when you look at Astrolabio, the odds right there in front of us at 450, meaning he's not quite a 4-1 dog. He's live for sure. That's going to be a really fun fight. That's the co-main. I bet on Johnson because I think he can win some big exchanges. Punches are a little shorter and sharper. I do too, Yitro. I do too. I'm expecting a really good version of Tiger. I'm expecting a clean, a crisp. It'll be his third fight at 47. Jumping from 40 to 47, it's not like jumping from 30 to 35 or even 35 to 40. 40 to 47 is kind of like one of those jumps where you need a couple fights. You need kind of like a feeling out process. He fought Kendo at his first fight at 47, stopped Kendo, and then he fought Janelson and beat Janelson by decision. And Janelson knocked out Nick Flaz, even though that was Nick's last loss. And Janelson could crack. And I got to be honest with you, this is Nick Flaz, the best version of Nick Flaz. I got to give credit to Nico. He's leveled up since that last loss, and it's going to be a good fight, man. The main event goes the distance, hard to pick. Yeah, you know what, man? V, let's see the odds real quick. All right, boys. We're going to go over this real quick. Look at the odds shifting again. So they keep going up and down. Okay, so money line. I got Tiger at 230 about 6 hours ago. But then bet 365, I got Nick at plus 220. So I got a little hedge bet at working. You guys I already told you boys that. So Nick by decision 240. So look at Tiger by knockout. Tiger by knockout 5 hours ago when I put my bet on, he was at 11 to 1. Now he's at 750. So 100 on Tiger by knockout gets you 750 back. So not quite 8 to 1. That's interesting, meaning money has come in on Tiger to stop Nick. Nico's not as big. Man, it's a fun fight. 10-rounder. I'm excited about it. Goes the distance. Let's see it. $1.24. I mean, it's nice to add to a parlay, right? $1.24, a standalone 24 bucks on $100 bet, but why not throw that on a sneaky parlay? Carrillo goes down in the fourth with 2.5 minutes left. He's not getting up. That's a liver. Boca Negro. That's a good stoppage win here. He's not getting up. Boca Negro, he's long. He could crack. He just got a fourth round stoppage. He was very methodical too about it, almost like operational. Like, do what you do. That's a liver shot under the right. You want to hit somebody's liver, boy, under the right chesticle. Uh, hard to come back from. Yeah, so Flaz will bring the fight to Tiger, which will force the bet. This is exactly. I've been hearing this all week from people close with Tiger, people in that Ohio boxing scene. I don't just do my film study. I reach out to my network. I've been interviewing boxers. I mean, I've been interviewing boxers and writing articles on boxing for over a decade. So my boxing sort of network of people to reach out to is pretty vast. And so Ohio, because my roots are in Ohio, everybody I spoke to connected to Tiger said the same thing. Not directly in Tiger's camp, but Northeast Ohio, our boxing scene from Northeast Ohio, it's tight knit. So same thing. People are high on Tiger on this fight. They asked for this fight. They feel it's that pressure that's going to allow Tiger to shine, and they feel like he had a great camp. His timing's on point. His backhand, his 1-2, his speed, size. There's a lot of things. It's interesting that the Discord chat's torn right down the middle. A lot of people are siding with Nico here, rightfully so. Good day, Playboy. Let's talk about it. So we're talking about DFG. I told what I'm going to tell you, Marvin. I told you last night, brother. I'm going to wait until Tiger goes final, but I am this close. I like. I think David Stevens is live here. Lupe, make it official. Lupe, make it official. Okay. So the odds really haven't moved. Stevens, 100 on him gets you almost, 400 back, so not quite a 4-to-1 dog. That they're showing a, and I think a lot of that has to do that the card is in Fort Worth, Texas. We know about the Texas judges. My issue though with Fulgham is, how comfortable is he in the pocket? He's coming off a loss to Bekdamir. He got dropped late in that fight. There's, psychologically, people say that Fulgham was up. I thought it was still close, but the knockdown definitely swung it towards Beck. I picked Beck in that fight, so we was up. We ate. Knowing that as the fight, that was his first loss. He gets dropped. Let that one slip away. Stevens also has a fight against Bekdamir Melikuziev. Lost a very close split decision. Stevens is 15-2, 25 years old. He's a slugger, big puncher, likes to get inside. He's going to be shorter. He's going to be in the pocket a lot. It's a good matchup for Fulgham. I mean, there's definitely a path to victory for David Stevens. And Fulgham's, the bigger dude. He's athletic as hell. I don't trust Fulgham though. I don't trust him at 122 to take him and put on a parlay. If anything, I'd go standalone on Stevens. My official bet will come soon though. What do you guys think of that? Let me know. Rambler's back. Rambler says, I think Flaz might win by stoppage. He can't. Tiger is whack. He can't keep it long. Doesn't step in with the jab. Just flicks it out and on punches jabs. But you gotta know, Rambler. Tiger likes to fight at distance. Likes to counter as well. So he wants to catch you walking in. And everything you said can speak with defense. I think Tiger's speed will suit him well. I think he might catch Flaz walking onto something. We'll see, man. It could go. It could go either way. Johnny Virgil don't want no boot smoke. Who wants boot smoke, man? Boots is a goddamn nightmare. Boots is a problem. Look. Once again, we don't want to look too far ahead. Let's see how Virgil looks, guys. Virgil's coming off 24 tough rounds. People are going to say he beat Madrimov easily. He beat Boacek. That wasn't even close. Bro, you beat him easily, whatever you want to say. The facts of this. He went 24 rounds. That's 24 3-minute rounds. Getting touched, getting touched, getting touched. Virgil, his face was really swollen after that Madrimov fight. He got dropped twice against Boacek. Man, that his health issues in the past. If I'm questioning Virgil on anything, it's the longevity component of his style mixed with the durability of his frame. That's all I'm gonna say. He was at what 40, 47, was killing himself at 47. He's 4-0 at 54. He knocked his first two opponents out in the first round at 54, and then he's gone 24 rounds in his last two. So as of late, he doesn't, before Boacek, he had a 100% knockout to win ratio. What have you done for me lately? He's 2-0 with two decisions, 24, gone 24 rounds. Um, I'd love to see the fight. I'm not here to pick sides yet. We got a firefight in front of us. We'll see how he does with Lubin. I'm an Eric fan, dude. I like Lubin. Eric dodges no smoke. Virgil dodges no smoke. Dude, look who, I mean, at 154, what other guy at 54 has gone back to back with guys like Boacek and Madrimov? What guys at 54 in the last year have gone Boacek, Madrimov, Lubin? You know what I'm saying? We'll see how much damage he takes here. We'll see, man. Boots is a problem. It's an interesting problem to solve. I want to see Boots challenge, though. I want to see him tested. I want to see Boots hurt. I want to see how Boots handles getting knocked down. If he does get knocked down, I want to see how Boots handles getting rattled. I want to see Boots down on the cards. I want to see if Boots could be the nail and overcome that and win. I want to see the psychology of Boots. I want to see him challenged. I want to see him tested. That's when we learn everything we need to know about a guy. And it's not his fault we haven't seen that yet. I mean, the two fights with Karen Chukachin's a really, really good pro. He handled Avanesian really well. Avanesian's a really, really good pro. So there are guys, um, Stanionis, dude. Stanionis was a champ. People were high on Stanionis. And I still think Stanionis could be a champ at 47. So what does that tell you? He beat Sergey Lipnitz, former world champion at 47. There's some guy, people like throwing shade at Boots, but the kid is what, 27 years old, just growing into his frame, finally letting his body grow. We might see Boots at 60. We might see Boots at 68. Who knows? He has a lot of time how he fills out, but I want to see that fight. I have Stevens fight under. What you're saying? He's already damaged. That's kind of crazy in my opinion. He's young. He's never been a champion. He was inactive for a long time. I'd be shocked if these two guys. Okay, so what I'm saying is I'm not. I don't think I said it. I didn't say anything that wasn't factual, was I? I don't think I said anything. I was just painting the story of Virgil's career thus far, and I need to put this bow on it. That style historically in boxing doesn't age well. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'll stand by this. I don't think Virgil retires undefeated. Do you guys think, does Virgil Ortiz retire undefeated? That's not a style that historically retires undefeated. So my point is, it looks great until it doesn't look great. And it's an iconic Mexican style, and it's brave, and he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. But we know historically when that chin, it goes. If it goes, and if it goes, and it doesn't go, it doesn't go. But if it does go, and when it does go, it's gone. That's all I'm saying. So that's it. Lubin looks incredible at the weigh-ins. Everyone caught up to him. Look at where Valdez style got him as he progressed. You see what I'm saying, though. I'm not being. I don't think I'm being disrespectful at all. I think I'm being factual. I wasn't trying to be. I wasn't insinuating that he's damaged. No, surely not. I was insinuating. I wasn't insinuating. I was just giving you the facts of what got us here. You know what I mean? What got us to the dance? This is what got us here. So yeah. Virgil, he might, man. This is another thing about Eric that you guys are sleeping on. Nobody's talking about is Virgil doesn't have a lot of experience with southpaws. His last southpaw was his last fight at 47. So this will be his first southpaw at 54. It'll only be his second southpaw in a really, really long time. Eric will be the biggest puncher he's ever faced. I mean, Eric could crack, and Eric could crack with both hands. It's not just Eric's a southpaw trying to set up his backhand. That motherfucker uses his lead hand to jab, boom, as a hook. So, it's an interesting matchup. It's an interesting matchup. We'll see. I mean, if Boacek buzzed him twice, Boacek's not the biggest puncher, kind of death by a thousand cuts sort of thing. Short. Eric's not that. Eric doesn't have a lot of volume. I don't really want to call him a pot shotter, but that's what, he likes fighting at, mid range. He doesn't like fighting on the inside. So that's the thing we're going to have to really watch is Virgil's wheelhouse is the grind house. Virgil is going to force that fight on the inside. And so we're going to see how Eric holds up to that pressure. We're going to see how Eric handles Virgil's hand speed. We're going to see and then we're going to see how Virgil handles Eric's power. We're going to know this pretty quick. I don't think there will be much of a feeling out process. I'm really excited for this fight. I heard a couple of the boys in the UK who make videos like myself saying that they were shocked that the fight got made and people were kind of scratching their head. I'm like, what are you guys talking about, dude? You guys are smoking dope, dude. As soon as this fight got made, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Let's see. Let's go. It is shocking that Virgil and Eric, even with a win, neither guy will still be a full world champion. And at this stage of the game, you would think that both guys would have been a world champion by now. That's boxing. We'll see what happens. but both guys need to win 100%. How many fights did you call last night, Ball Vorba? We start all. I had to go. I had to go to bed. I literally cut the stream the fifth round of Munir Fatih and Andrew Hunt because I had to wake up this morning at 5 a.m. to go box. And then as soon as I cut the stream, my Instagram notified me, one of the boys like, Johnny, you right when you cut the stream, Hunt knocked out Munir. I'm like, God damn, thank God I cut that shit. That was a bad read on my end. Shit, I hope he gets dropped. I have one leg with Virgil to get knocked out. Dude, it could happen. It could happen. And guys, if you're new to my channel, I say welcome. If you've been here, this is kind of what we do. It's not just me. I'm not standing on a soapbox. My chat is equally, for the most part, guys, the chat is equally as educated as me. And we use this as sort of like we're riffing off of each other, seeing where, and then, a lot of us will then put money on a fighter and put money on a said fight. And we kind of use the chat and we use the Discord as a sort of, you know, oh, God damn, Boca Nate. That fight is over. That's that doo-doo face when you see a matchup when one dude's overmatched and they just get fed to a young dude just to get knocked out, and then the knockout happens, and you're like this. So Boca Negra brothers, 2-0, 2 knockouts. That one looked a little bit more suspicious, though, that matchup. I think Virgil's motivated like Lubin. We're going to see a crazy fight. It's hard to put. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, brother. I love boxing, though, man. So, like, guys, if you're betting money on fights and you're not having fun, don't bet. I'm gonna show something for you guys real quick. Full transparency. All right, so yesterday I did a debate. We're launching a new series on the live chat called Fight IQ Boxing Debates, and I debated with Chilltown, who's a goddamn savage. We debated Flaz versus Tiger. He took Flaz, I took Tiger. You guys get used to this. My goal with the channel is to have educated, researched, not mean-spirited debates with dudes or girls to showcase that there are boxing fans around the world that don't have to get racial, don't have to get ignorant, don't have to swear, and you can talk about the sweet science. So we did that yesterday, but that's not what I have to show you. This is what I have to show you. And this is me 100% if you didn't know. This guy on my channel, El Perro Covero, he says, "Hey man, this is my first time ever placing a bet on anything. I don't know these fighters. Can you recommend me one, please? And how much should I bet?" My response, if you've never bet, don't start now, buddy. And I mean that. So I don't want you guys who are new to my channel coming here think that, I'm promoting my channel as like become a gambler. No, the betting side of things was an outcome of the passion I have for boxing. The chat asked me to start doing the betting. So I mean that. If you've never bet, don't start betting. Don't start gambling. You ain't about this life. You ain't about this life. What? You ain't ready for this life, young buck. Oh shit, player. What's up, big pimp? What's up, playboy? Cooked. Virgil and Bam. Look at the young bucks. They've been in the game forever. Dude, hold up. Hold up. Yo, can we talk about this one real quick? Do you realize how excited I was to see Nakatani and Inoue on the same stage? Now, we know Inoue has to get past Picasso at the end of December, but for this to actually go down, fingers crossed we get to see Junto versus Inoue at 22. And then perfect scenario, we would have a three-man. Bam would get past Puma at 15. Bam jumps to 18. Junto, depending on how Junto and Inoue go at 22, I'd want to see Junto come back down to 18 to fight Bam. I want to see all three of them fight. He's not the face, is he? Dwayne Styles. Is he the face? I want to scream because the best bet is the one. You know what time it is, Skeezy. Lubin has one path to victory stoppage. No way he wins. Yeah, I don't see him winning on points. That's May getting in Jazzy Parr. That's Andrew Hunt. What else we got? This shit's hilarious, by the way. This shit's. Let me see if I can play this for the boys. This shit's hilarious. I ain't playing that volume. That go to my Instagram store if you want to hear that. That shit's hilarious. Yep. Yep. I blame it all on my girl. My girl last night was like, why don't you let me see what bets you got? I'm like, no, I'm not showing you what bets I got. I was like, I don't want you betting. I was like, we can't combine two worlds. I was like, the minute we start these two worlds, I was like, I cherish you. You ain't about this life either. I don't want you betting on fights. And then she goes, she said she was a curse before she put the bet in. And I should have just ripped the ticket up then.
See, now this is what's wrong with the boxing game. We talking about fighting. He's over here showing me some fashion outfits, man. I don't care about what this man looks at me. Now I got $5 teeth. Now I said the word is yours. Hands got some forces on. That's all you need, man. I'm telling y'all, the boxing game tough. We over here talking about fashion. Talk about fashion, man. We talking about fashion. Y'all see these outfits? I'm gonna rate them things, man. I ain't finna rate no outfit. I don't care about.
And that's why I'm a big fan of Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. is a throwback. That's exactly why they tried coming at him about rate Devin Haney's outfit. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about rating somebody's outfits? That's like this. That's like the bit in the Kings of Comedy when Cedric the Entertainer was talking about the young dudes these days. They all got little nicknames like, yo, you could just call me Delicious. I ain't about to call another grown man Delicious. Yo, D. So this is, Brian Norman's take. Brian Norman, man, he reminds me of a smaller, reincarnated Joe Frazier. Everything from the left hook to how mean he is. I'm a big fan of BMJ. Man, it's the dark of the bad, sweet of juice. Yeah, well, yeah. She packing that motherfucker too. I want to see Nakatani anyway, but I don't want to see either. Yeah, facts. Yeah, right. Let's see where we at. Damn, they are really dragging this joint on. What time is it? It's 12:15. I'm just gonna stay on until my devices die. Anyway, but it's not best fight, but I can't wait, man. I had a 3-man, 1 girl, 3 men. I had a 3-man, 1 girl, 3 men. Hey man, whatever you into, but you a freak, boy. I ain't about to play fucking swords with one of my homies, man. You out here crazy. I think Virgil will lose. Most fighters don't retire undefeated. He can lose tomorrow. Losing the boots is surely possible. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain guys. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Shakur retires undefeated. With Shakur's style, you know, it's a style that you could see, how, and I'm a big Shakur fan, how how he'll navigate the next 5 years of his career. His style can suggest that, I wouldn't be shocked if that style he retires undefeated. But stylistically, Virgil's style, you don't really see it. I want Spence versus Ortiz at Cowboy Stadium. Hey man, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. What's up? Took Tiger. I looked into. I like his chances, bro. You just need to pick his shots and don't get too anxious. I think his speed was. Yep, I think so too. Got to get off his jab, and he has to. His backhand counter has to be on point. I like his back. I think it's going to be his backhand. People are talking a lot about that jab. I don't like how. I don't like how Nico. He has one way in. Nico doesn't hide a lot of his entrances. But the thing about Nico too, man, he keeps elevating his game. You got to give props to Nico Flaz, man. He keeps elevating his game. He he's a fun guy, man. This was a tough one for me. I've been a Nick Flaz fan. It's a tough one for me. It's one of those fights for me. It sucks. I had to pick a loser. Same with Lubin and Virgil. It's one of for me personally being a fan of boxing and the amateur scene in America, and watching, seeing like the story. I'm a hopeless romantic, guys. At the end of the day, so story. It's probably another element why I love boxing is the storylines, and watching a guy like Eric, who's 20 years old, fight for a world title way too early in his career, get knocked out in the first round back in 2017, and then watch him rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and eventually get himself to that position against Seb again. Not a lot of guys could do that. So this was a tough one for me to pick a loser, but we got to. I hope you're well too, Styles, man. You're my guy. So guys, this fight's coming up. What's up, Mr. Reed? I'm gonna see what the Discord's saying real quick. All right, PJ saying another knockout's coming. I feel like so. This is I'm not getting any of these fights. Are you guys getting action on Roberto Tapia? Yep, the curse, boy, and she ain't lift the curse either. She didn't even lift that joint. Accidentally joined a call. Funny step is Norman compared this fight. Did he? Okay. No shit. See, I don't know. So I got to be honest, Clifton. Brian Senior follows my YouTube channel. So I'm not saying I'm the first. I've been saying his son reminds me of Joe Frazier for like 2 years. I was saying that after the Gio Santillan fight. Just how mean he is, and based on the technique of the left hook. I'd love for him to well, what Ali for, yeah, to double down on that. What if I'd love for him to lean in on that, dude, because he's mean. He Not everyone fights mean. I like that he fights mean, and I love his left hook. I want to put money on Lubin by knockout. Just do it, Mervin. I'm all about that country, boy. I lived in the South for 2 summers. I lived in the Kakalaki playing baseball from May to August. It was called short season summer league in 2002 and 2003 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Kakalaki. I'm catching up to the chat. I'm catching up to the chat. Absolutely, this conservative style Shakur has in more suited for long term. It's not a risk. Yeah, 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 yeah. You feel me? Every time Norman talks, I think Roy Jones is speaking. Yeah, it's a good pairing. I love Roy, man. Roy in his prime. My God. Wonder if Haney's going to come into the fight and want to engage. Look, guys. I mean, we're all talking about a blood sport. This shit is a gladiator sport, right? And so, if you remove all of the things that we think we know about the sport, if you remove the research we do, if you remove all of our knowledge of what's happening, from setups to feints to counters to winning rounds, if you remove all that, oh God, Jesus, a beautiful step-in uppercut on the counter 30 seconds into the fight. Damn, that was gorgeous. He doesn't even know where he got hit. If you're watching the fights, man, that was nasty. He just, boom, that uppercut. So where I was getting at is if you would just remove everything that we know about boxing. Oh, stop the fight. What are you even counting for, dude? The young fella gets dropped twice in the first minute of the fight and the ref's counting. Bro, don't let this poor kid continue. Stop the fight, mate. What are we doing here? There. Dude, this kid was hurt. My point is with Haney and Norman, with Haney and Norman, when you look at it from a gladiator perspective, how they go about their business, especially as of late, watching how Dev fought Ramirez, which was smart. There were Dev had flashes in that fight. He did, and he's just getting his sort of feedback under him. Devin's hand speed's world class, man. Devin's hand speed, his there were he didn't do it a lot, but there were a couple exchanges. It's sad when you could remember them throughout a whole fight. Third round, he's exiting. He's using his lateral movement to the right on Ramirez, and he's circling right before his corner, and he goes like boom, 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 and catches Ramirez with the 1-2 counter, and then slides under Ramirez's lead hook. That shit, dude, absolutely brilliant. So that's the world class in heaven in Devin, that sort of thing that you don't see a lot. Now, if Devin is able to recapture that and paint that picture throughout the entire fight, Haney's gonna have or Norman's gonna have his goddamn hands full. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about. Haney's circling, lateral movement, the pressure's coming forward. And granted, Ramirez's pressure was straight up just one gauge, slow, marauding, and Dev, by the third or fourth round, had timed it. Boom, 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 and by the time Ramirez swings on the hook and misses, Haney has already exited around. It was probably one of the rare moments in that fight where you're reminded, like, damn, dude, this young fella is skilled. Now, too far, too few in between in that fight. He still got the dub. Haney or Norman is 24, faster than Ramirez, better boxer, aggressive. Devin's gonna have to fight. There's gonna be moments in this fight where Devin's gonna have to fight him. And that's my point about the gladiator side of things. So it's hard for me to bet on the guy as of late that I feel in a gladiator ring isn't going to come out on top versus Brian Norman Jr. So that's how I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I heard his father speak disrespectful towards Johnny, and I couldn't understand why. Yeah, he spoke disrespectful because he was reading a comment on a video I made, and he was using the negative comment against Brian, as he thought the whole channel was a Brian hater. And so I then had a response like, bro, watch the video, mate. It was my stats don't lie video when he was getting ready to fight Derek Cuevas. And I was like, watch my breakdown, bro. I was like, I'm literally telling you that your son's going to win. And I was like, the 4th minute mark, I was talking about, I'd like to see your son work on some of his defensive flaws. Like when he was circling out against Santillan, tightening things up here on his exits rather than trying to punch off the exit. And he was susceptible and getting touched up a bit. I mean, didn't he? I'm pretty sure Janelson dropped him, but that's a 20-year-old Brian. You're watching a kid in real time evolve from fight to fight, from what he looked like against Santillan to what he looked like against Cuevas to what he looked like against Sasaki, and now look, win, lose, or draw against Devin, he's going to leave a better fighter. That might sound controversial. Win, lose, or draw. Devin Haney is so talented. Even if when you fight a guy as talented as Devin Haney, when you share the ring with a guy as skilled as Devin Haney, win, lose, or draw, you're going to leave a better fighter. So I think at 24 years old, I think it's a win-win for Brian Norman Jr. I feel he's the one going into this fight, no stress. Even though he's the champion, it's his belt to lose. From a more sort of like philosophical standpoint, like when I'm looking at the bigger picture, you know, if you're Brian Norman, you really have no pressure. I got to be honest. All the pressure's on Dev. He crazy. Yeah, this pro box card is like we out here going to bed. Johnny, like John, man, I give all it's where I was raised, man. I came up in the Youngstown, Ohio, salt of the earth people. Like I told you, man, I didn't know. I grew up around. We were all struggling. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. I love where I come from, man. Thank you guys for. I appreciate you guys too supporting the channel, man. If Deb didn't step to Ramirez, how the hell are you gonna step to Norm? Well, this is the thing, guys. This is the psychological thing. So I think that Ramirez game plan was from Dev's camp to win the fight. First and foremost, Devin. First and foremost, we got to get this W. We got to get the W. What's Jose's path to victory? He got one. You stand in front of him and him knocking you out. Are we gonna do that? No. And so it would probably all fight. And dude, Dev's a competitor, dude. This dude's a 26-year-old former world champion. Look at his resume. Look what he's done coming up. Say what you want, Wade Bully. Say what you want. All that. The facts are the facts. Champion competitor. His legacy as a 26-year-old is already Hall of Fame worthy. Close decisions, whatever. I'm not talking about the controversy and all that good stuff. My point is, damn well during that camp, Romain Villa, November 21st. That's a good fight. Francisco Veron versus Romain Villa, Flaco de Oro. Villa, never really, that when he got starched against Duran. But my point was, all fight camp, I wasn't there. I'd like to ask him, but I bet you they had to, Devin, don't listen to the fans. And granted, for Dev, man, who lucked out in that fight, because we didn't, because the ambiance on that card sucked. The energy of that card sucked. Turkey El Sheik, let's put the ring in Times Square where there's no crowd. Are you out of your mind? It's a blood sport. These fighters feed off of energy. Think about how terrible those fights were in the Apex during UFC during the pandemic with no crowd. The crowd, you feed off that. Could you imagine Ward Gotti with no crowd, or Pavlik versus Taylor 1 with no crowd? Could any big fight? Chico Corrales versus Castillo, no crowd. What are you talking about? So the idea that they set that card up with no crowd, and that's why I don't like the Riyadh cards either. The crowd's there as shit, just culturally. No offense, but Devin kind of gained from that, because if that's a T-Mobile crowd, psh, god damn. If Haney Ramirez happened at the T-Mobile crowd, that game plan that he executed perfectly to get the dub, he would have got a little bit of psychological trauma for them boos, because competitive guy, ego. These are prize fighters. These men are like the elite alphas of ego. Uh, that's why it always shocks me when guys like myself clown fighters online. They call a fighter a bum when they get, and I'm like, bitch, you crazy. These guys are all alphas. You would not say that shit to anyone's face, even a club fighter. You would get starched. So, with that in mind, having Devin not dealing with that crowd going into this Norman fight, he's gonna have to fight him. He's gonna have to fight him. He's gonna have to fight him. And Brian Norman's camp, they're that kid's feet quick. And come on, we finally in boxing we get to see a 26-year-old and a 24-year-old season, dude. Come on, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. It's hard to look past BNJ though. Garcia looks like a mini Jaya Pataya. I think so. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Hold up, Clifton. I said let's remove the controversy, because Clifton, in 20 years, uh, you know, God willing, we're all still alive in 20 years if our health is right. I just want to be healthy in 20 years. That's all I want. No living with no pain. Um, in 20 years, when we look back on the resume, all the resume is going to say wins and losses. So that's what I mean. I'm not. I told you when I was talking, removing all the controversy stuff. So let's pull it up. Was Jose Ramirez a world champion? Was Regis a world champion? Lomachenko a world champion? Cambosis a world champion? Jojo Diaz, Jorge Linares, Yuriakis Gamboa, The Abdulayev. So it's probably it's from here. From 25 from 2020 these wins. And look, on paper, all we're gonna do is go back and look at the resume at 26 years old, guys. I mean, what are we talking about? Who else has a resume like this? For real, man. Like, so the longer, if you guys are new to my channel, this is, I'm picking, if I pick a guy to win, doesn't mean I'm a hater. You know what I mean? I'm giving, I'm not hating on Dev at all. Dude, the kid, 26 years old, has Ryan Garcia ever been a world champion? No. It's shocking that they try to force feed Ryan Garcia to us. The idea that he's getting a world title shot against Mario Barrios is insane to me. He just lost against Raleigh. And those 147 champions, I think I mentioned it a little bit. I think Stanionis eats a lot of those guys at 47, which makes how Boots handled him even more impressive. And then, you got the kid from the UK who just won a suspect decision. You got Mario Barrios. You got Raleigh and Brian Norman. So, I mean, I wouldn't take Stanionis over Norman at all. But I think Stanionis would give Raleigh a run for his money. I think Stanionis would beat the kid from the UK. So yeah, I mean, what other 26-year-old has that resume like that's not at like? I mean, let's see the youngest champ. I mean, Xander is what? Xander's 22. Norman's 24. How old's Bam now? 25, 26. Bam has a good resume. Um, but not a lot. There's not a lot of guys. You have to mention Devin Haney. I mean, people the hate on Haney obviously has a lot to do with the commercial hate. Pops, that sort of thing, social media. He doesn't do himself any favors. So yeah, I get all the hate. I'm not defending him. I'm not a Devin Haney apologist, but you can't hate you can't argue the fact the kid is fought. The resume is stacked. The resume is stacked. I mean, when we're talking about just watch all of these sort of these pro box cards, the Australian cards, the UK cards, they're filled with guys 26, 27, 28 who are kind of prospects, kind of contenders. People think at Haney, he's only 26, dude. The kid has done a lot in a short amount of time. Um, he has his hands full with Brian Norman Jr. though. What do you think about Karen? Dude, Chukachin is world level. People sleep. It's dude. This is a guy who is a smooth operator. Karen Chukachin is a guy nobody wants to fight. He knows how to use the entire ring. He's super skilled. Has that European style. No one's putting their hand up against Chukachin. Totally different style. But there's a lot of guys. Like how many guys do you know are putting their hand up to fight 48-year-old Sergey Derevyanchenko? Derevyanchenko, 16-6, never been stopped. A nightmare to deal with. Big puncher. Like there's certain guys out there just because they don't have perfect records. I think it's a testament. I mean, to beat Karen twice just goes to show you. And this is a Duran Ennis who's still figuring, his pro style out, and he beat him twice. All right, guys, we got Valle versus Alvarado. You boys are playing the dogs on this, right? Who's the? I don't even want to ask you guys because you're gonna clown me. Uh, so this is the Discord live chat, and this card. Yeah, Skeezy. You know what I'm worried about though? You think Liam? So Skeezy says Liam would be a great matchup for Barrios. Man, I did. Maybe it was just his first fight at 47, but he struggled with David Papo. He struggled with Papo's size, and he got hit a lot. And that fight was closer than all of us thought it was going to be. and Mario Barrios is a 6 foot welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Barrios. The thing about Barrios is he's a big 47. Paro looked small against Papo. I couldn't believe it. So we'll see how he settles into 47. I look at it like this, bro. Brian was just in Boots conversation. Devin wasn't serious about Boots. He trying to dangerously cherry pick, and I think so. You think this is interesting? Okay, hold on. Oh, oh. So you think that Devin Haney? You think that in their head, Norman's a cherry pick? Norman's a world champion. I don't think how could we call somebody who's getting an opportunity to fight for a world title? How can we call that a cherry pick? Devin, what? Maybe I rushed this. Give me a second. I don't like looking at screen. What I'm about to say sounds crazy, but I actually don't like looking at screens, so it kind of gives me a headache a bit. I look at it like this, bro. Brian was just in the Boots conversation. Devin wasn't serious about Boots. We're all good here. Yep. He was he was trying to dangerously cherry pick, and I think it ain't gonna go. So you're saying that so Team Haney thinks that this is gonna be an easy fight. Mikey Malls, what's good, Playboy? Hopefully you're well. This is Rene Alvarado, last second replacement versus Valier. Alvarado is a guy with over 40 pro fights, seasoned Nicaraguan, has a lot of losses, only been stopped twice. Valier has under 10 pro fights, is a 6-1 favorite. It's an 8 rounder. The Nicaraguan is going to have a lot of volume, a lot of pressure. I know some of the boys sprinkled on the dog, but y'all ain't saying nothing. Who sprinkled on the dog? Tell me which one of your motherfuckers sprinkled on that goddamn dog? We'll see if the chat valet got this easy money. So the chat's letting you know. Anyone dog hunting? I'll ask the chat if anyone's dog hunting. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. Hey man, what's new? It's been a while. How are you? Joey Umbrello, my guy. I love getting messages from old friends. Haven't talked to him forever. I gotta call him back. That's my guy. Nah, bro, not a real cherry, bro. Let's two years. Yeah. So guys, there's a minute 20 left in the first round. There's a lot of hype around Valet. He looks like he's 2 weight classes bigger too. It's gonna be interesting how he handles his vet. Any of you guys watching this? Tapping in. Norman's head movement seems to be non-existing sometimes. I pick Norman, but watching tape, no, that's real rap. No, that's the thing. But I mean, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? He's out. Devin's not really known for a guy who has pop though. I mean, not Rando. Think about historically some of our favorite fighters. Head movement wasn't why we liked them. You know what I mean? It's not like you know. I was a huge fan of Diego Corrales because Diego had great head movement. You know what I'm saying? Like my favorite fighter is growing up Kelly Pavlik because Kelly had good head. Hell nah, these guys were punchers. So you can't have everything. It's something to talk about, Randall, if he's going against a big puncher. But hey, people always move the goalposts because People were saying Jin Sasaki was a big puncher. We saw how that turned out. Oh yeah, Mervin, Johnny, can you grade my friend Marchi Tapasio because it's her happy birthday, Marchi Tapasio. Appreciate you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Marchi Tapasio. Happy birthday to you. Damn, they keep playing the Chili Shack, making me starving. Nah, bro, not a real cherry, bro. Less of two evils, my guy. So, who's anyone scoring this fight? Round one. Hail Mary knockout. All right. Round number two. 283. So that puts us at 1744, 5461. I'm just saying there's 100%. No. 100%. Especially if Haney gets on. In Rando, this is kind of this is an angle that I've heard some of the boys back in the States say that is going to suit Dev. And I heard some I think I heard wasn't it Greg? Wasn't it Greg Hackett who's taken Devin to knock out Norman? He put it on a stream and he kind of maybe it wasn't on a stream, it was on YSN network, my go-to channel to catch up on all Philly boxing, which I'm kind of a low-key Philly nerd from back in the day with Benny Briscoe and Matthew Said Muhammad. One of my all-time favorite fighters is a guy that doesn't get enough love. His name was Matthew Said Muhammad. He was a Philly guy. Just passed away recently. Amazing story. If you don't know about Matthew Said Muhammad, man, do your research. But Greg Hackett was on the YSN. He was talking about how he could see the fight going into the sixth or seventh round. He detailed a whole prediction, and I don't know how much of that was to swing odds, but he said he's taking Devin to knock out Norman. We'll see. You're welcome, Mervin. Greg and Showbiz says Dev. All right, all right. I'm gonna be mad. Showbiz. Y'all see Showbiz is boxing now, boy. I'm not hating. You can't hate. It's just fitness. I don't like that haircut though. I'm gonna clown you on that haircut though, boy. Showbiz looks like a grown up Urkel. Showbiz reminds me of an old man Urkel, like an old head Urkel. He's kind of like a. He reminds me of a meme. This is kind of a decent fight. 30 seconds left in the second. Valier is trying to sort of like obviously crowd the vet and trying to like bully him. But you're dealing with a 45 fight pro vet, mate. And if you start gassing, Alvarado is going to put it on you. And dude, Alvarado is winning some of these exchanges. The problem is Alvarado took this fight on what, 4 days? And Valier is like two weight classes bigger, it looks. It's a good fight. What's the chat saying? Get him up. Get this old man out of here. So the chat, you boys tapping in, that's the Discord chat. They're going for so people do have money on the dog. I like it. Yeah, nah, Showbiz got the links on point, man. Showbiz put a lot of work into his channel, man. Showbiz is currently reaping the benefits of his hard work, the years and years he's put in the game. You gotta appreciate the hustle. Showbiz has showcased the game, and you could judge him if you want how he goes about his business, but that's not my job. And he's put himself in a position to be networking, got great gigs. He's always, we're talking about him right now. So hats off to Showbiz, man. He's earned it. He's worked his tail off. It's hard to do, it's hard to do it what we do and make it to that level. You know, he got about 10 years on me though, so he's kind of a guy I'm like, all right, he's doing it. Watch. So yeah, Showbiz is definitely a dude you got to tip your hat to. Disregard his takes. I don't watch his content. I'm just coming out about it from like how he's built his brand to what he's doing, man. He's obviously doing something right. I I haven't seen the vid. Yeah, I don't follow him, but yeah, that's probably that South Florida connect, right? That that gym that a lot of the dudes do content at. What is it? Boxing. The kid who sounds like he has an Aussie accent. The kid who runs that gym. He kind of looks. I don't know. I'm not good at guessing ethnicities. Guys, I'm starving, man. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. And I'm an old head. Y'all don't, man. Y'all, I can't be streaming for 2 hours, dude. Johnny, I hope all your hard work gets you to travel and hang out. My hard work's already paying off, brother. I appreciate the well wishes, and we all have our different goals. Hang out with boxers was never my goal, but I appreciate your intention. We all have different goals, and I'm working towards them, and we're doing them as we speak. So just talking to you, I'm already achieving my goals. Guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna lock this up. I'm gonna go live again afterwards. Rando, I appreciate you. Everyone tapping in, I appreciate you. And stay tuned. Stay tuned.